578 square kilometers of hospitable land in the northeast of Greece. Thrace, a challenge for anyone who seeks new impressions, new experiences, undiscovered pleasures. Fascinating beaches. The interplay of sun and sea. Idyllic corners. Embracing nature. Picturesqueness. Meeting with memories of the distant past. Touring through the tracks of history, but also against a modern background. A dynamic present full of promises. Thrace, a musical melody, the start of which originates in the depth of time. Peaceful natural surroundings, often flooded with thrilling mystic beauty, which inspired fascinating legends and a feeling of joy for life. The ancient Greeks transformed this melody into the Orpheus of mythology. They imagined him on mountain slopes, wandering with his lyre, enchanting both beasts and people, and singing hymns to a universal being. Thrace, a unique cradle of folk civilization, which has managed to overcome the difficulties of centuries. Faiths and beliefs imbued with the spirit and legend of the cult of Dionysus. Rich material for the searcher who would like to penetrate the inner soul of this place. Thrace, a land on the borders of Greece, which has kept its authenticity, its pride and tradition. Thrace, part of a wider geographic region which is bordered by two great rivers, the Nestos and Evros. Administratively, it's divided into three counties: the county of Evros, the county of Rhodope, and the county of Xanthi. The Nestos, this long river which rises in Bulgaria and flows into the Aegean Sea, separates Thrace from East Macedonia. The Nestos, an eternal celebration of nature. Waters which roll among lovely ravines and valleys touch the Thracian land gently, glitter in the sunlight, paint unbelievable landscapes, and at the same time produce wealth, the productive source of the area. Reaches the homonymous capital of the county, Xanthi. Here is the so-called Limnio, a touristically developed area of the capital, while still remaining an oasis of peace and tranquility inside the busy city. Xanthi, a city which harmoniously combines the old and the new. It displays, as I.M. Paniotopoulos has written, next to the ruins and tracks of the old times, the achievements of the modern ones. From the outside, the fascinating casing of traditional beauty and picturesque variety. From the inside, the rapid speed of its financially strong center based on the tobacco industry. Evergreen hills which adorn Xanthi, monasteries have climbed, offering spiritual uplift, peace, and a fabulous view. The monastery of Achageliotisus, the monastery of Kalamiotissa, or Kalamus, nestling among pine trees and greenery. On another hill, next to the town, there are the ruins of Byzantine Xanthia. The immortality of history, whose thread is lost in mythological times. Then, it's said, the Diomedes lived here and had the 4 man-eating horses which were tamed by Hercules. Xanthos was one of these horses. And from that horse, perhaps ancient Xanthia got its name. Avdira is situated 25 kilometers to the south of Xanthi. The ruins of the ancient town is the home country of Democritus. He was the great ancient Greek philosopher who was the first to speak about the atom and unsplittable matter. Ancient Avdira and its Byzantine continuation have both left undeniable proof of being Greek. The landscape today, next to the silent memories of the past, is a fascinating caress. The vastness of the sea embraces the distant horizon and calms the senses. Plentiful are the natural resources of Xanthi, including a vast forest of poplar trees. The cultivation of poplar trees has proved to be unique here. It's being done systematically and is highly profitable. However, the main cultivation of the area is tobacco. In Krisa village, which is not so far from the capital, the most famous tobacco in the world is produced. Kiretsila tobacco. Exploitation of the riches of the sea in the south of the county is also fruitful. Fish farms by the banks of Porto Lagos and Lake Vistonida. The visitor to Porto Lagos is impressed by the natural beauty. The paradisical landscape here shelters herons and other rare birds. Uniquely picturesque is the all-white chapel of St. Nicholas, which seems to arise from the lake. Lake Vistonida is situated between the counties of Xanthi and Rhodope. In this place, the ancient Vistones lived, and it's said that in the depth of the lake, the ruins of the town Vistonida exist, where there was the palace of King Diomedes. Historical continuity remains in the ruins of Byzantine Anastasiopolis, a town by the shores of Lake Vistonida, which played a principal role in olden times. The strategic position of Anastasiopolis offers memories of important historic moments. Flourishing state, glory, but also barbarian raids, battles, and catastrophes. Crossing the lake, in Rhodope now, one more surprise. The traditional fishing village, Thanari. Komotini, the capital of Rhodope County and administrative center of all Thrace. This bastion of Hellenism has commanded the whole area here since time immemorial. It's situated on the Ignatian Way, and the Byzantines paid great attention to it because of its strategic position. Of Komotini shows a city flourishing with financial and industrial activity, rich in cultural and social activities, and also a university town. Komotini, the past, present, and future of Thrace. The county of Rhodope is also full of tobacco plantations. The yellow-green tobacco leaves offer pleasure to smokers all over the world. Mount Papikion in the north of Rhodope. The melody of nature. The mythological residence of Orpheus. In the south of this county lies the verdant green plain, which is resonant with memories of ancient and Byzantine times. Maronia was a town at the foot of Mount Ismaros, which flourished in the classical period. But it is mentioned by Homer as well as an area producing excellent wine. The modern village has its own atmosphere, but the most impressive part of the area is Maronia Beach. Alexandroupolis, the capital of Evros County, frontier lighthouse of Greece. Its name dates from long, long ago, but the modern town started to spring up only in the last century, becoming a center which brought together the Christian population of the area and the Russians, who undertook to develop its new network of streets and squares, transforming it into an attractive city with broad avenues and magnificent buildings. The serene atmosphere of its coast, with its idyllic corners, can compare with any famous resort in the world. Makri is a picturesque fishing port not far from Alexandroupolis, flooded with the freshness of the sea and images which transfer you to a different, carefree world. Absolute tranquility, relaxing landscape, calmness, silence. A little further on, the archaeologist's pick restlessly seeks witnesses of the past. It brings to light Neolithic tombs and findings which reveal secrets of our earliest ancestors. Next to the beach, we find the ruins of ancient Mesembria, another town which has seen days of glory, but declined in the passing of centuries. A little north from Alexandroupolis, the mineral waters of Traianopolis, a place connected with the history of the Byzantine and post-Byzantine period. Proud witnesses of Byzantine glory, the castles of Avandas, silent indications of a prestigious past. Attractive Avandas village unfolds the soul of the pure and unspoilt Greek countryside. Going towards the north of Evros County, there's a rich alternation of impressions for the visitor who's interested in discovering Thrace. its beauty and tradition. The wonderful Byzantine church of Kosmosotiras in Feres, another holy touch of Hellenism. A little village planted at the foot of Gibernas is Dadia. At noon, children's laughter fills the tiny streets and brings optimistic messages for the future generation. The country road through the forest of Dadia leads to a magic place. A recreation park organized in an original way, which is a really charming oasis. Here we can find the famous petrified forest. Sufli, the town of silk. Traditional looms narrate the streets of a very old craft which still exists and creates wealth for the town. Didymotiko, the ancient Plotinopolis, another frontier fortress of Hellenism. However, the great miracle of the eastern county of Thrace waits along the river Evros and its renowned delta, supporting a rich variety of aquatic life, birds and game. A unique landscape which combines in an admirable way the wildness and tenderness of nature. From the port of Alexandroupolis, the boat leaves for Samothraki. Samothraki, this green, pleasant island, one of the most beautiful of the Aegean Sea. On the summit of its highest mountain, called Fengari, or the Moon, mythology placed Poseidon, seated, watching the Trojan War. Mythologically and historically, Samothraki is probably the earliest inhabited island of the Aegean Sea. Of its archaeological sites, the most commanding are the columns of the temple where the renowned Kaverian mysteries were performed. The significance of the island during classical times undeniably places it among the most prominent cradles of Greek civilization. Its admirable Nike of Samothraki, a statue of unique perfection which was found on the island and today adorns the Louvre, makes known the distinguishing cultural presence of Samothraki to all humanity. In the vastness of the sea, the island appears to be sailing. Every day it resists strong winds and with open arms offers its humble warmth to the welcome visitor. In its shadowy ravines, with lush vegetation and abundant running waters, one can take a breath of life. Sunset in Samothraki. End of the journey.